Alright, so today I was out for a drive about 3 hours from where I live, and I've come across this guy here sitting in the field. Apparently I'm turning into a Ford guy because we've got ourselves a 71 Bronco. It's in rough shape, but it's all there and it looks good. Unknown condition on the engine. It's a 302 with a wasp nest. Mostly all there, and it's rotten as hell though. Interior shot. Door hinges are rotten, but it is what it is, and can't pass them up. Can't find these trucks, so we'll get it home, see if it runs, see if it drives, and see what's left of that underside. You know, it could be not very much. Yeah, that's good.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, there's a strap down there, but the pin's missing.
Ah, yes. All right.
Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
Taylor, back.
Okay, walk around the back. Okay.
Okay.
That's great.
It's on the deck now. That's wrong. Yeah. Or even if you want to come around the front, you can just right put this there again.
Show you guys a little trick. I don't know if it's so much a trick as it is a flaw, but when I buy something that's been sitting forever, take the old diesel, dump her in the carburetor, and just give her what for. Oh yeah. So the Bronco's back at the shop. I've been able to go through it pretty good now, and you know, I'm happier with it than I thought I'd be. This frame is really nice all the way through. and that's gonna be a huge plus. The diff looks like it's super nice, front and rear, like the drivetrain. Someone spent some money on this thing. They just forgot to do body work. Who's that? So, you know, I've got a good chassis, a good start, and good bones, and you know, the body is toast, but it's savable, right? I mean, they're all savable. The worst parts of it that I don't like are in here. Well, actually, no, on this one. This one's not nearly as bad, but on the other side, it's all rotten in here. Still, these quarters are shot, but for $100 a piece for quarters, you can't go wrong. In here, just gonna do a little skin for the bottom of the tailgate, but again, the Ford Bronco, I should call it. In here is brutal. But you know, once you got the quarters off, how hard is it really to get in there and do that? And the bed floor on this thing's super nice. Can we get some rust on the inner fenders? The seats are toast, but I actually have some nice seats lying around, so I can use these rails. And I don't know if this is a factory thing with this wood, but I mean, in here it's like it's all wood. So hopefully there's steel under there I can use. I found the key in here, which was cool. So this morning I've just been working on the engine, because the biggest thing is if we can get it running, we can get it driving, and then it's not a piece of junk, and I'll want to keep it because I can toy around the yard with it and still pick at it as I go. You see, even the turkey likes it. So as you saw, my first step was to pour a bunch of diesel down the carb. As that is with most of my projects I bring home, because people are like, oh yeah, it ran just a few years ago, but what is a few years, you know? I mean, I don't really know. And the only downside to putting diesel in there and soaking it all would be if there's like mouse house in the valleys and tunnels all the way through the intake and the heads, and then you put diesel in, it's gonna muck it all up. But to be honest, I wasn't gonna pull this motor apart to find out if there was mouse house in there anyways. I mean, there's some mouse crap in here, and I kind of wish I washed it before, but it's about to get totally covered in diesel because I'm gonna throw a battery in it. I got the cylinders filled with diesel, I got the valleys, everything's filled up with diesel. Actually, if you watch this, I fill this carb up. This is how you know you're right full. And one thing I like about doing this is any mouse crap or insulation or whatever, if it goes to the top here and it floods right through, it actually, you can see it oozing out the cylinder. So anything in there will be, well, in my eyes, coming out. After I throw the battery in, put the key in it, see if it goes wah wah wah, and then it'll puke out all the diesel. I'm not going to pull the carb off because I've learned, you know, you pull it off, you take it apart, well, then you got to do a carb kit. And then one thing I do know is it was parked running, so I mean, it should run. I mean, floats might be stuck, there could be problems, but again, this is the quickest way to do it. I got that wasp nest out. I think there's actually one guy left in here. Oh no, he's gone. He bailed. Never mind. Okay, well, he was around here for a while, still trying to rebuild the thing. Kind of like me, just trying to rebuild something that's toast. So after that, I'll throw the old plugs back in, and I do have new plugs for it, but I'm going to run the old plugs first. Just going to clean them up because whatever's in this, like, it's going to be soaked with diesel. So if I put new plugs in it and run it, it's going to just gum them all up, and I'll be right back at base one. So if it starts on these plugs, great, and I'll get the rest of the tune up. But the biggest thing to see if it runs, doesn't have a knock, and I know it should move because the clutch works, and I know the brakes work because rolled it forward, hit the brakes. So yeah, that's a huge plus. So sooner or later, I'll be in the yard doing donuts with this thing. That's my plan, because again, if I can keep it running and driving and fix it as I go, then I want to keep it around. But if it doesn't run and I got to drag it around with the excavator every day, well, I'm gonna get angry and just put it on the old internets for sale. All right, the cylinders are full of diesel now, and I just threw a battery in it. So I'll power this on, see if anything lights on fire. I got the spark plugs out, so it's gonna do a nasty little show of diesel coming out of the cylinders. Hopefully just diesel, nice clean diesel. Otherwise, you know, if there's, we'll see what kind of debris comes out. But anyways, like I said, I found the key in some disgusting crevice here, so here we go. Nice, very nice. Good thing I've got my little cleanup kit underneath. I've got some cardboard and absorbable underneath there, but now I can wash it, and now it has been soaked. Tough to see what went on there, but at least I do know it's been flushed through, and now I can run fuel through it. And I won't do that with gas because that's a dangerous game, but diesel's fine, and it soaked everything up. Any other bolts in here I want to unseize, well, that just helps me. I'm gonna do that though, actually. Okay, so we're just about to start this thing. I got the seat stripped out of it, cleaned it all out, so I just kind of see what's underneath that floor pan and underneath the seats there and in the crevices, and it's actually pretty solid. This this box is quite nice, but again, right now we're trying to get this thing running, so we haven't had any fuel in it now, just diesel and deep creep. So first thing I'm gonna do is get some fuel in here. Right in the bowl. We're not hooked up to the fuel tank or anything right now. We're actually not hooked up to anything. Sometimes I run a jerry can out of the pump, but right now I just want to see how it runs. So get some down the carbs, some in the floats here in the bowl. You know, try not to spill it everywhere. All right, so this is probably a first start in 5 to 10 years is my guess. And I mean, it's soaked with diesel. Here it goes. That was my bottle. So I'm gonna guess no spark. The Bronco. Yesterday you saw we got a cranking and whatnot, but we didn't have any spark. So I wanted to get it running last night, but ended up playing around with it for a couple hours and decided today I went and got some parts, went and picked up just ignition solenoid and a coil and points, a condenser, and that's kind of about it for now. Like I said, I got plugs that'll go in afterwards, but right now I got to a point where I turned the key and I heard it puff a couple times, so it's firing. And so this really will be the first start in a long time. I don't know how many years, but it's going to be pretty smoky. I mean, we got a lot of diesel in there, sea foam, and whatever else. So I think we're ready to go. I'll hit the battery here. Nice. We have a few pumps. Not much of the good fuel in the bowl yet. It's firing. Wants to go. Something's smoking. Oh, it's idling. Wow. Wow. Sick. Man, am I pumped. Now we gotta go find a seat. Alright, so I've got this seat I've had lying around here forever, and shoved it in there. Got the custom 5-point mounting system there. I don't know if that'll pass safety standards, but that's okay. So we're gonna see if it moves. I haven't even tried to move this thing. I see the clutch fork goes in and out, so assuming the surfaces in there are all good. I haven't checked any fluids. Again, the biggest thing, I want to get it running so I can drive it onto the trailer, and then I'm gonna go and wash the engine bay and wash the rest of it so I can really get into it. But the biggest thing is to see if it moves. So set this here and see what she does. So got the Bronco running and driving, and actually just got a little carried away with some bodywork, so I was scratching at it and ordered new quarters and rockers, and actually that's it for now. But those will be here in about 3 to 5 weeks, so I figured in the meantime, gonna just half-ass this up and do a little bit of bodywork to make it look like it's not so rotten. On this side I gotta do a patch. I've got an old hood, just gonna cut the section off and throw it in there. And I'm gonna leave the rockers rotten because can't really tell, but they are rotten all the way through, obviously. But just this is just so that I can walk past it and be like, ah, yes, it's not a total piece of crap. I bought these tires; they're 15s, wicked deal on the old internets. I mean, the Lord was just talking to me. He wanted me to have these. These are gonna go on these steel wheels. I would like to find some chrome caps. Everyone loves the white walls, but I don't know, it's kind of screwed up to me. These are gonna go on. Probably black or brown. And then for the rest of the paint, it's just gonna do the similar match paint. All right, so as you can tell, I went pretty hard on the body work, and well, not that hard. I got about 8 hours into the body work and a couple $100 just to satisfy my eyes because it had so much potential. So I just knocked off all the old crap Bondo, did a light skim or whatever, wherever needed. A couple little small patches because it's faster than doing fiberglass. But it came out awesome. Threw on these little Chevy Mexican hat caps, which I love. I'll try and put them on anything I have. They came out wicked. I got some tires lined up. I haven't got on yet. But I haven't even had it on the hoist yet. So it's about to go on the hoist. And I'm gonna go through the rest of the drivetrain. I'm gonna do a flush on the tranny and the diff and transfer case before we do burnouts. But we do definitely wanna do burnouts and donuts and whatever else we can get our hands on. Like maybe we take it out to some off-road parks. But look at that, went from a junk truck to, if you stand 100 feet away, you know, you would look like you were standing 100 feet away. So I think for now, I've got these parts on order for quarters, and those are going to be here in 5 weeks. So I've got time to play with it, and we're going to go to these off-road parks we've got around here, and I don't want to smash it by any means. I don't want to beat on it at all, but I do want to use it to its full potential. I'm going to make some seat mounts. I got a lot of work ahead of me here, but for an off-road toy, I mean, it should be pretty okay. As you can tell, it runs excellent. The rest of the drivetrain seems nice, and brakes are operational enough. Probably have to do wheel cylinders. Might as well do a master. Parts are cheap. So yeah, stick around. And next video, I promise we'll be doing burnouts and donuts and whatever else, and not smashing it. That's not what we're gonna do. Please, please, please.